Hi, everybody. It's me, the Mississippi. It is spooky season, and welcome to our channel. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Good? That's always great to hear. But you know what? It's also great to hear when you're scared. Ooh. Y'all like my outfit? This is like the Dollar General version of what I actually had. You know, no offense to Dollar General. I love Dollar General. I go shopping there all the time. I need to go grocery shopping right now because there's like no food in my fridge. Anyway, hi, how y'all doing? I want to welcome you guys to spooky season. Welcome to our channel, As We Wish, or the Mississippi Hippie, depending on which channel that you guys are watching this on. Hi, nice to meet you. Today we're going to be talking about some spooky stories just to celebrate spooky season. The stories that I'm going to be telling you guys today are all Mississippi based. They're actually all going to be based on the coast of Mississippi. So, you know, you guys down there like Biloxi, D'Iberville, all that good stuff. This is stuff on your side of town. Which, by the way, you guys are creepy. Like, out of all the stories, the creepiest ones came straight out of your areas. You should be proud of that. Also, if you guys love hearing about strange, mysterious, weird type stuff, then, you know, follow our channel. Also, if you like celebrity gossip, follow our channel as well. If you like hearing about movie reviews and show reviews, follow our channel. We do all of it. We do all of it. So thank you guys for coming. Welcome to our channel. Make sure you follow this channel, that channel. Make sure you go to TikTok. Come on, follow all this. So we got stuff for you all around. And there's different stuff on all of them. So make sure you follow them just so you can get all of our news. Enough playing around. Let's get to the creepy 3P stories of Mississippi. Today's first story is going to be something called Dog Island. If you don't know about Dog Island, you may know it by another name, the Isle of Caprice. Yes, this is an island that has risen and sank, just like Atlantis. Yes, the Isle of Caprice is a story about an island right off the coast of Mississippi that has emerged and descended upon the depths multiple times. The story about the Isle of Caprice, or Dog Island, goes back to the Native Americans. They actually warned the white man, do not go on that island. The island disappears. And what does white man do? White man do as white man does. Took the island and, you know, for a while it flourished. Now, before the Isle of Caprice was the Isle of Caprice, while it was still Dog Isle, or the disappearing island, the island was actually used as a seafarers stop, like with rum runners during the Prohibition era. Also, it was a camping ground for pirates. I'm going to do a whole episode of that. That's going to be something different. It's amazing. Dog Island was an island that was known by legend to rise and sink, so people were always warned not to go on the island. But did that stop them? No. Now, in the 1920s, in the earlier 1920s, a lot of people were looking to make a lot of money, and there was a lot of money to be made. A lot of the coasticians, the people that lived on the beach of Mississippi, they saw a lot of opportunity coming around, and they wanted to make more opportunities for themselves. And that's exactly what happened. One day in the 1920s, this guy who is only referred to as Hunt for some reason, I'm not sure, which it's a last name, but where's the first name? I don't. But Mr. Hunt actually saw islands coming out of the shoreline, and he was intrigued. This is exactly what he had been waiting for. As the islands rose from the waters, he saw opportunity. So in 1925, Hunt, seizing the opportunity, actually purchased the land between Ship and Horn Islands, the island known as Dog Island. And he purchased the deed for like $183, which is like maybe a couple $1,000s in today's standards, but that still isn't a whole lot of money. Not for a whole island, but he did. And over the next little bit of time, his money with the money of the investors that he actually raised, they created the Isle of Caprice. Now, the Isle of Caprice actually started pretty quick because he bought it in 1925, and in 1926, the first visitors was already coming through. And just like that, it became an overnight sensation. People from all over the country were swarming to get to the island of Caprice. They were coming from Texas, from Alabama. They were coming from New York, from Alaska. They were coming from Canada. They were coming from Mexico. They were coming. Now, the Isle of Caprice, it was dubbed the Monte Carlo of the South. Truly, it was beautiful. You had white sandy beaches. You had sunbathing, bars, more bars. And you know, when people get drunk on the beach, it's always a good time. Now, Hunt was very smart, and he was a natural promoter, and he used all of his gifts to his abilities. He even created this marathon that was 13 miles that started on the coast of Biloxi and ended on the coast of Caprice Isle. People were swarming to this place. He brought big bands in to make sure people were dancing till 4 a.m. There was places to stay. They had shuttles going to and from the island. The food was delicious. Everyone loved it. Now, however, even though the Isle of Caprice was becoming a sensation, it was already on its downfall. Now, Hunt had ignored the warnings from the Native Americans about the vanishing islands. Also, he had ignored warnings from several captains, one in particular, that told him one day you're going to wake up and the island is going to be underwater. He ignored all of this. You know, he was in it for the money. The money. You know, when you throw money in someone's face, who cares? I want to take it while I can. And from what it seemed, he was doing a really good job at that. So, I'm not mad at him. Do you, sir? Now, little did Hunt know, his downfall was already imminent. Now, while the island was on the peak of its horizon, Hunt decided he was going to take full advantage and he wanted to secure his place in the world. He was going to make sure that he saved the entire island by building a seawall, which would keep the water out. Smart. But he never got the chance. A hurricane came and hit somewhere between 1929 and 1930. It was a huge one. There was warnings coming from left and right telling all of the people to evacuate. Most of the people did, but there were a few people who refused. They wanted to wait out the storm. Even though this island is known for vanishing under the water, and this island is in the head of a hurricane, they decided they were just going to sit there and wait it out. Kudos. Well, not kudos, because it was horrible. What happened was really sad. The hurricane came. The hurricane hit. There were no survivors. The hurricane was so bad that people weren't even actually able to come to do rescue efforts to the island until 2 days later. And when they showed up, all they saw was debris and bodies. Now, that's not even the weirdest part about everything. It is said that to this day, if you go and swim or ride a boat or anywhere over the water where Caprice Island is now, you can actually hear the screams of the people as they fight through the hurricane. I don't know about y'all, but that's creepy. That's really, really creepy, okay? I ain't trying to be hearing none of that. Whew. And that marks the island of Capri. Now, for our second story, we are going to be talking about the Pirate House of Waveland, Mississippi. Yes, there was a house. Yeah, it was. A house in Waveland, Mississippi that was housing pirates and pirate activity. It's really crazy. Now, there's a lot of information about this story, and there's a lot of stories about this house. So feel free to go and do a little research of your own and find out all there is to know about the Pirate House of Mississippi. But now, as it pertains to Spooky Month, the Pirate House of Mississippi was most famously involved with a pirate named Jean Lafitte. Jean Lafitte. I'm not quite sure. It was a few ways to pronounce it. I don't know. I'm not French. This guy's not American. He's from Europe. He wasn't American, he was from Europe, but he was a pirate. Now, this house was erected in the year 1802. Now, at that time, Prohibition was going on. There was a lot of piracy going on with smuggling, with alcohol. You know, there was a big thing with that where the United States government trying to outlaw alcohol, which really was just for money purposes. Now, Jean Lafitte, we'll just call him Gene, okay? We'll just call it Gene. It's spelled like Gene. Now, Gene, he was a smuggler at this time. He actually was really, really good at smuggling alcohol. He mostly based himself out of New Orleans and around that area, but he became very popular. He expanded to other areas. Before too long, he actually got into piracy and he had his own fleet. Yeah, I know, right? But as it pertains to the pirate house, the story gets a little mixed up there. Some don't know exactly how the pirate house came to be or who actually owned it. But there are a lot of legends that says that Gene actually owned the house. Also, that Gene used his house as a part of his smuggling ring. Also, during that time, slavery was alive and well. Alcohol was not the only thing that was being imported in and imported out. Now, the horror that comes into play with the pirate house is there is a legend about tunnels that go through the bottom of the house all the way to the beach. Now, these tunnels are more famously associated with him smuggling out alcohol, but also with smuggling out prisoners, slaves. And when they were inside of those tunnels, there are a lot of stories, there's a lot of folklore, there's a lot of legend about the people that were inside of the story, the people that were inside of those tunnels being tortured, beaten, mutilated. The stories are horrible. Now, the pirate house was destroyed by Hurricane Camille in 1962. However, before the house was destroyed, legend has it is that people that were walking the streets, people that were inside the house, people that were around that area, they would hear the chains of the prisoners, the slaves, inside the tunnels. They would hear people screaming into the night. That one gave me chills. Real chills. I did not like that story at all. There is a lot more information that can be done about the pirate house, and more importantly towards John Lafitte. I am going to be covering him, so if you guys would like to know more about that, make sure you follow me. Now let's get to the next story. Our final story for the night is about one of our presidents, Jefferson Davis. He was actually racist, if you didn't know. Yeah, he was actually a president for the Confederacy. And the Confederacy didn't last long. However, is most often marked as being patriotic, although we know what patriotism means for something that only lasted a couple of years and was mostly based about slaves. American values. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. That's another story. I'm no storyteller. I piss greatness like gold is yellow. Jefferson Davis, he was a very, very wretched man at heart. If you like slavery, you are wretched. Huh? And when he died, that wretchedness carried on after the grave. His house is actually in Wilkinson County, Mississippi, which honestly I did not know. I didn't even know he was born in Mississippi. And we have the same birthday. You know, a couple hundred years apart. But Jefferson Davis was born in Wilkinson County, Mississippi. And, you know, he became the president. He fought for the Confederacy. He loved slaves, all that good stuff. Let me correct my words, because I know there's going to be people that comes out and say, oh, Jefferson Davis, all his writings were against slavery and yada, yada, yada. And he loved this black woman who was his slave. Don't forget that part. Once he died, his house, which is called the Beauvoir, is on the coast of Mississippi, became haunted. There are a lot of different stories about people hearing things, seeing things, but there's actual video proof of pictures where the entire family, he, his wife, and his daughter, showing up on camera. Now, the house was open to the public in the 1940s, but ever since then, people have caught many different type of photographic evidence that there are ghosts inside of the house. Mostly him and his family. Because if you don't succeed at racism while you're alive, you have to try again when you're dead. You have to try again when you're dead. Wow, that really sucks. You can actually schedule your own tour of the haunted Beauvoir mansion, which is on the coast. But until this day, people are still getting pictures. There's also a story of a paranormal investigation team that went into the house and they spent the night. The things they caught on camera, pretty creepy. Now, if you would like to see this, you can Google the video. That's all that I have for you. Hope you guys enjoy your spooky season, your Halloween. We'll have more videos coming at you. Make sure you like, subscribe, repost, retweet, follow this page, that page, that page, that page, and follow me. And we'll get more videos to you soon. Have a good day. Be safe. Bye.